What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Bruiser here. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I've done the unthinkable. So basically what happened was that I started to pull some shards for the 1+1 event, knowing that the 2x event is coming just around the corner, basically within 2 hours. I basically decided I had a bit of a busy week, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna pull some shards for the heck of it. I've been usually during these events where I'm not like fully involved, I usually pull like a handful a day just to get my gamble going, but this time I just decided to let loose a little bit, mainly because we were talking with a couple of members about how 1+1 events, so currently we have an extra legendary event right now, how these events actually give you more legendaries per shard than 2x events. So, the way you prioritize which event you go for on your account comes down to a lot of factors, right? So for 1+1 events, so basically when you get an extra legendary from one shard, you get more Legos per shard. However, that only applies up to the first Lego pull, and then the event is over. You also have to factor in whether epics are valuable for you. Usually, for most people, they are pretty valuable, unless you're in the super end game. In which case, 1+1 events won't give you boosted epic rates. So for example, here, epics are still only 8%. So for me, it's not getting epics is not a huge deal. And obviously getting the legendary is the main prize. And often 1+1 extra legendary events are not paired with any kind of summon event for some extra rewards like a chase or anything like that. Usually it's like midweek or early week, and it's basically just pulling shards. So you don't get any additional incentive that way either. So with all this in mind, I was thinking for my accounts, I really only care about legendaries. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. Ancients are pretty low value, especially as you enter like the super end game. They're basically just used for like these types of events and for like easy champion chase points. I don't really struggle with champion chase events like ever anymore, so I don't mind using some ancient shards for this. I was about 50 into Mercy on both my accounts with ancient shards. I can hit Mercy with my ancient shards in the stash. I just didn't feel particularly good about it. But even if I had to pay like 150 ancient shards for 2 Legos, it's not the end of the world, and it's a chance to get this really cool faction unity champion. So I was like, okay, why not? And like I said, we're trying to have some fun here, right? But definitely for your own account, I definitely recommend pulling during 2x events, even though the expected Lego per shard is slightly less compared to 1+1s. You double your chances of getting epics, as well as pairing them with good reward events like summon rushes or champion chases. They just give you some extra rewards that might help your account progress. So that would be my recommendation. And of course, if you're close to Mercy, or if you haven't pulled a Lego in a long time, which means you're close to Mercy, then pulling shards during a 1+1 gives you really high expected value. So that would be other opportunity for you guys to pull shards during these events. Otherwise, just sit them out, wait for 2x's during champion chase, and then you'll probably get more rewards for your account. But in this case, I did pull a bunch of shards already on both my accounts, and I still didn't hit my extra legendary gold. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll make a video about this and explain my reasoning why I did this, even though I told everyone basically to pull during 2x's and skip this event if you're outside of Mercy and all that. So that's kind of just my explanation. Basically, I just want to pull for some fun, some gamble. Like I said, you get more expected Legos per shard, which are more important for my super endgame accounts. So that's kind of like my justification for it, but definitely not going to be the reason for a lot of people to pull here. But yeah, let's get into it. We're going to be hitting gold relatively soon. So let's see what we got. I'm definitely wanting this progressive champion. The odds are very low. Even if even if you hit it, it's going to be like 7.5% to hit it. So it's going to be, yeah, let's see what happens. We got 2 shots at it with the extra legendary event. So let's see. Hopefully, we pulled a lot. We pulled probably 100 on each account already. So we're heading towards Mercy. Ideally, we get before Mercy. But yeah, let's get it. I'm going to be pulling on both my accounts. And still nothing yet. 8% chance of Lego, no boosted rates. The other consideration is whether you want to save your ancient shards for guaranteed ancient events, for example. Yeah, that hasn't happened in a while. There you go. We got our double Lego. Glacea and Staltus. Hey, Staltus is really nice. I like it. This account actually doesn't have Staltus, and Staltus is kind of a game changer for a hard dragon. He definitely fills that role there, so I'm really happy to see this guy actually. He's a good force-based nuker as well, double AoEs, stun, and then increased defense on his A3 as well. His best thing about him, I think most useful thing at least, is that his passive bounces back the poisons, decrease defense and weaken back to the enemy. In which case, the hard dragon just kills itself with its own poisons if Staltus is facing it. So Staltus is pretty much a goat in that dungeon. Happy to have him, so I'm gonna plug him into my hard dragon team. Let's see the RSL helper here. All right, you see what happened here? It took me 205 ancient shards. So I did hit Mercy to get my Lego. So yeah, a bit of a pain, of course. So I pulled 150. Put 150 ancient shards on this account to get the double Lego. It's not the worst deal in the world, but you got to factor in that you're getting half as many epics, and you're not getting any rewards on the side from an event. So in that regards, it's not the best gamble in my opinion. But you know, it's fine. It's just for fun. It's a little bit of gamble. I'm still in okay position to do all the events and fusion and everything, so I'm not too worried about that. And ancients come pretty quickly. So let's move on and pull on my main account. All right, we are on the main account. And in terms of our overall Mercy, we're at 165. So I probably pulled, like I said, about 100 shards already on this account, trying to get the double Lego before we hit Mercy. Unfortunately, we haven't been lucky enough. So I decided to turn on the camera, explain my reasoning, and we'll get the lightning on video. So we'll be hitting Mercy in the next couple pulls here. Don't need to make space. We got 60 shards to go. And let's go. Best of luck. Let's see what we can get. Been pulling a lot of shards last couple of, I think, weeks or so. I think I'm getting a little bit loose on the shards a little bit, maybe because it's nearing the year end. I have this mentality sometimes where I'm like, oh, I just want to reset my shards. But I would expect the 2x primal event to come relatively soon. I think we haven't had one in a little while. Those primals are definitely burning a hole in my pocket. I want to pull some to get some mythicals, or at least get a chance at a mythical. Should be hitting Mercy here pretty soon after this 10 pop. We'll do one at a time. Man, double C of blue. Let's do one at a time because I think the next pull will be Mercy. And we'll get some dramatic suspense here with the one pulls. Every single shard after this pull is plus 5%. So 5.5% to pull Lego. Nope, not this one. Like I said, increasing 5% every pull. Let's see here. Nope, 10%. All right, this one's 15%. It's been like 20 something blues. Keep going. This one's like 20, 25%. Very chill. Nope. Entering, I think, about 30% almost. Let's see what our total Mercy count is, but we're definitely in Mercy right now. Still going pretty deep into it. Pretty deep into it, guys. Still going. I think we're nearing 50%. Nearing 50%. A coin flip for the Lego. Still nothing. Yikes. Really bad luck here. This is a coin flip for Lego. Nope. Yeah, where are we at here? We're pretty deep into it. 205. 205 into it. All right. Not quite. So 30% now. Not quite the coin flip yet. Wow, so many blues. Yeah, one at a time here. For the suspense. There's our... Hey, we got Seeker. The 25x works. Not necessary. I don't need them, but... Alright, come on. Okay, now we gotta be a coin flip. 50% now. Still nothing. Really? Really? Yeah, we're at 209. 209. So this one is 50%. This pull right here, 50-50. Still nothing. I mean, this happens, guys. This happens. You guys go deep into Mercy sometimes. It happens. 50, yeah, still going. Unless the thing's wrong. I don't really mess around with it. Unless the thing's wrong. Still nothing. Better than a coin flip for a Lego right now. Wow. This might be the deepest I've ever been, actually. So this is Plarium punishing me for my loose decisions. All right, come on. Really? Really? Is this thing wrong? This thing's wrong. 215. 220 is the guarantee. No, mathematically 220 is like so hard to reach. Really? No. Something's wrong. No. No, something's wrong. Oh, I'll be right back. All right. I mean, I don't know. Mathematically, 220 is the maximum. 220 or 221? I think it's 220 on your 220th pull. You should be guaranteed, but mathematically it's very hard to reach. Still nothing. I feel like something's wrong. The counter's wrong or something. Yeah, we're at 219. Is that possible? What? No, that's impossible. The thing's wrong then. The thing must be wrong. The thing must be wrong. Has to be wrong. Yeah, it has to be wrong. Yeah, it has to be wrong because like it says the current chance is 105.5. So we already hit our, basically should have hit our guaranteed already. Maybe we miscounted one of the rares or one of the polls a while back. Oh man, that's a little bit annoying. Okay, well, I mean, we're kind of stuck here. So I think we have to commit some more shards. So be right back, I'm gonna pick up some shards. So usually I never ever buy shards just because I never really need to or in the position to, but obviously since I went down this rabbit hole in terms of like bad decision making or loose decision making, I would say. Yeah, so this is, you have to basically get what you came here to get, which is the extra Lego. So I have to go for it here. All right, let's try the singles again. We don't want to spend more ancient shards than we have to. I hope the counter's not off by too much. Let's try the singles here again. A little bit disappointing actually that the counter was not right. I wonder where it went wrong. Here we go. It wasn't off by much. Wow, we got the Faction Unity champion. It was worth it. It was worth it, guys. It was freaking worth it. Oh, baby, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it. We got the Faction Unity guy. 7.5% chance to hit him. Ah, feels good. Feels good. Feels good. Tribune here. Tribune. All right. Obviously, like this pair is actually really good. Goffred is really solid. I think I have one already on discount, so this would be a dupe. And my Dwarves Faction Guardian is full, so I can look towards empowering stuff. Although there's not really too many things I want to empower. I have 2 Trundas. I'll probably split those Trundas up for 2 teams. So maybe I'll empower like Goffred or something, but so far nothing that comes to mind. But the real prize here is this Tribune Faction Unity champion for the Undead Hordes. Really, really cool champion. I saw a couple playtests on him, and on the test server, I believe as recently as a week ago, there was some bugs with him doing basically like insane stuff. So I kind of stayed away from playtesting him, just because I didn't want to playtest something, show it with, with bugs and stuff. But I think, yeah, he's still going to be pretty good. He has a really interesting kit here. His A1, he places fear when he attacks, and it can't be resisted or blocked if he's dead. So he has a cool mechanic where he actually can attack when he's dead. So that's kind of interesting. So when he is dead, it also heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. Like he's better dead than alive. Let's say that. So his A2 is a single target hit, 100% ignore defense. If the target is killed, revive a random dead ally with 50% HP, 50% turn meter. It's similar to Odin's Asgardian Judgment hit, but Asgardian Judgment is I believe a 3-turn cooldown. Let's double check here real quick. Yes, Asgardian Judgment here is a 3-turn cooldown. Similar kind of move, 100% ignore defense hit. His is based off max HP, and then he has the same kind of revive, half HP, half turn meter as a Tribune. So it's similar, but Tribune's is not as good. But Tribune does have an extra little bit here. It says if the target is killed, and there are no dead allies, reset the cooldown of this skill instead. So he could possibly reuse this over and over and over again. However, 2 conditions to hit, so not super easy. And then his A3, AoE, destroy max HP on all enemies by 10%. Places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to the amount of enemies max HP destroyed. Like, this is a pretty big deal, right? Like 10% max HP destroy, and then you get the shield out of it. His undead unity synergy, the shield buff place cannot be removed. That's going to be pretty good in some of these boss fights for sure. Protected shield buff instantly activates the skill whenever this champion is revived. That's really nice. Big AoE hit, and then he has ignore portion of each target's defense. The defense ignores equal to the percentage of each target's destroyed max HP. So this part can be really strong, but it requires a little bit of setup, or you have him on a team that already destroys max HP, which doesn't happen too often. I guess you could use like Harvest, Life Harvest, the passive, to do some work there. That could really power up this move, for example. And then heading over to his passive, whenever this champion is revived, increase the damage inflicted by this champion by 20%. Stacks up 200%. I know on the test server this was like uncapped. There was no cap here, and then they added the cap. But yeah, it was pretty nutty in terms of his overall damage output. But this is a really good passive for boosting his damage. With one ally, it becomes immune to block revive, so he cannot be block revived, which is good. So he always gets benefit from his being dead synergy in his kit. Allies receive 20% less damage if he is dead. Whenever this champion is dead and an ally attacks an enemy, this champion will join that attack using their default skill. The default skill is really good. It's a true fear hit, right? And it doesn't need accuracy to land it if he's dead. So it's an interesting kit. He's kind of like better dead. So he synergizes with stuff that like self-kill it. So you think about like Valkynin, for example. Valkynin can basically eat him and then benefit himself while also benefiting Tribune. And they're in the same faction. So that's kind of like the whole synergy thing. I don't have Valkynin myself, but definitely you can find some use for this guy. Cool kit. Super happy to get him. I mean, faction unity, of course, very special. But yeah, we did it. We got a Goffred as well. Goffred's going to be a faction. I think he's going to be, yeah. Oh, I did take off my Trunda. Yeah, this is my third Goffred. So I did leave the dwarf speed off because I had to speed tune the rest of my newts, but I didn't have the opportunity to. But yeah, it's useful. It's useful. That means I can basically empower my Goffred to, like, I don't know, +1 or whatever, and still have full faction guardians if I want. But anyways, really good. I mean, a little bit of bad decision making on my part. Just kind of fell into the whole like, oh, let's pull some shards, and then got kind of caught up. So definitely don't recommend that for everybody. But there is some justification for pulling during 1+1. Like I said, the Lego per shard rate is the highest, or is higher than 2x. It is one of the best events, but you're limited to basically 1 hit. That's the thing. And you also don't get more epics, and you also don't get rewards. So if you're strictly after Legos and only 1 Lego, this is probably the best event to shoot for. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Best of luck on your pulls. We do have a champion chase following this with basically triple 2x on all the shards. They're going to be 2x, 2x, 2x on all the shards. Not promo shards, sorry. On the blue, purple, and sacred. So we got 2x events everywhere. Yeah, best of luck if you guys are pulling, of course. And best of luck on the fusion coming up. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you guys in the next one.